Hey everyone, it's Marvin again, and welcome to part 2 of this pre-recorded demonstration series of the Reamaze platform on YouTube. And in this portion of the demo, we're going to talk about Reamaze Chat. Live chat is incredibly important for customer service nowadays because not only does it allow customers to communicate with you in real time, but it's also the fastest and most interactive support formats. Reamaze Chat can be embedded anywhere on your website, storefront, or web app, and also supports two different modes. The first mode, and the more modern mode, is called real-time messaging, and it works just like iMessage or text messaging. The second mode is called classic live chat, and we'll talk about their differences once we actually build out our first experience, which we'll do later in this video. Reamaze Chat also comes with queues, which I've highlighted here. And queues are triggered messages that you can create for your website, storefront, or web app, so you can automatically engage customers based on certain events or customer actions. And using triggered messages can help add a very proactive personality to your brand or your company and help increase customer conversions and loyalty significantly. Both Reamaze Chat and queues are extremely easy to install and are both very customizable, so you can get the optimal experience delivered to your customers. So this is the product landing page for Reamaze Chat. I highly recommend taking a quick browse through this site and kind of seeing the benefits that we have to offer, and also kind of the small nifty features that are available for you to utilize and customize. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into Reamaze Chat and how to get that created, customized, and installed. So this is the demo account again. I've also have a demo store that's just spun up on Shopify, just to kind of show you guys how easy it is to install and customize. Now, if you are on the Shopify or BigCommerce platform, the Reamaze Chat, when you install the Reamaze app for your Shopify or BigCommerce account, it'll be installed automatically, just to make it super easy for you. And if you want to customize it, you can go into your Reamaze account and kind of follow what I'm doing here, and you can get that customized and updated in real time. If you're not on Shopify or BigCommerce, we still make it super easy for you to install Reamaze Chat, and that's through Google Tag Manager. So if you don't know what Google Tag Manager is, you can take a look at our support documentation. We also have a knowledge base article for it, and it makes installing Reamaze Chat and updating all of those elements extremely easy. If you don't want to use Google Analytics, you can have your developers install it for you, and we have instructions on our developer documentation to help you with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the Reamaze account. To install Reamaze Chat, the first thing you want to do is you want to go to Settings, and we're going to take a quick look at this, and we're going to go through some of the main features and kind of show you what that looks like. So under website integrations, there's a section called embeddables, and embeddables is kind of a general term that we use to reference all of our embeddable features. So that includes Reamaze Chat, that includes Reamaze Queues, that includes the embeddable FAQ, which we'll talk about in the episode after the next one. And a lot of the other features like Reamaze embeddable Lightbox and also contact forms. So think of embeddables kind of as an overarching term for anything that you can embed into your website, into your storefront, or into your web app. So we're going to go ahead and create one. I'm going to say I want a shoutbox or chatbox showing my chat or contact form for my Daffy demo brand. If you remember, Reamaze is multi-brand capable from episode 1 or part 1 of this series, and you can choose to build a chat box or Reamaze shoutbox experience for a specific brand. And we have a live preview here for you to look at. You can change the brand faces, which are just the staff avatars. If you have uploaded them, we'll use the most recent active staff users' faces or logos. If you want to use custom faces and you've uploaded those images somewhere, you can definitely add that here as well. So you can give your embeddable a name. We're just going to breeze through this. And the positioning you can customize. You can use bottom right, you can use bottom left, you can switch to advanced positioning, which allows you to push the pixels around and make sure you get the perfect position for the trigger to appear. You can also change the theme color. So let's say we're going to go with a nice turquoise. I'm not very good with colors, so I think that's pretty close to a turquoise. What do you guys think? That's kind of more blue, but we'll go with that. Maybe a little darker. So we'll go a little bit darker. Okay, that's good. All right, for the icon, you can use the Reamaze message bubbles as default. You can change it over to a question mark. You can change it to the plain chat bubbles. You can make it a little bit bigger if you want. And the shoutbox prompt is the welcome message that you want to greet customers with. You can change this prompt any language that you want. You can change the prompt style. So notification is the default one. You can use the slide-in bubble if you want, which kind of rolls in from the right-hand side here. So this one is a little bit less shouty, I guess. But through a lot of testing and talking to customers, notification seems to work the best because it's a very modern look and feel. You can also change the prompt delay and duration, and also the ability to add or remove the sound. So if you're happy with that, go ahead and click next. You also have different contact modes that you can pick from. So contact modes is pretty important for a lot of businesses, especially when chatting with customers. Some businesses prefer customers to always provide their name and email before they can start chat. Other businesses don't really care, and they say, okay, you don't have to provide your name and email. We're happy to chat with guest users or guest customers, customers that don't want to provide their information but just want to talk to you about something. You can also go with a traditional contact form if you want and have people fill out a form. Traditional contact forms are still very popular, and Reamaze still has support for it. So if you want that, definitely go with this option. The flexible option is this one here. Don't require name and email, but prompt for email after conversation has started. So you have a lot of flexibility here in terms of customizing the customer experience. That kind of makes sense. Contact form fields. So in part one of this series, I mentioned, when customers contact you and they send you a message, there's a little data field underneath their message, and that's where customer contact form fields are coming in. So you can add custom form fields. So if you want to collect additional information from the customer, you certainly can. So you have the option of picking from text fields, drop-down fields, checkbox fields, hidden fields, heading fields. You can customize this to your heart's content. Let's just go ahead and add one. I'm going to add a drop-down field. I'm going to call this how happy are you? Okay, this is going to be the field name, and the option values I'm going to say super happy, just so, and not very happy, and let's add upset. Okay, so the placeholder, you can just say pick one. Okay, so you can look at the live preview here. You can say pick one, and it says super happy, just so, not very happy, and upset. Okay, so if you want to require them to provide that information, hit required. If you're happy with that, go ahead and click next. So Hub Apps is referring to the home screen of the chat box. So by default, we have enabled FAQ search for you. So if you're building your FAQ inside Reamaze, you can allow customers to search for articles here. All of the social media icons and channel icons up here are covered in part one. And once you add your Facebook page, your Instagram account, your SMS number, you can allow Reamaze to show these attributes or these accounts up here so customers can access them easily. There's also the FAQ button here. So we'll cover FAQ in a later part of this series, but just know that this is there. And if you're Shopify or BigCommerce, you have some additional Hub apps that you can pick from. One of them is the order status. So if you enable order status, customers can actually, if they're a Shopify customer or BigCommerce customer, they can use this to search for their order status instead of having to contact you about it. So just additional features that you can enable in your Reamaze chat box. If you're not on any of the e-commerce platforms, this won't be available to you, but FAQ search still is, and there will be other Hub apps coming for the chat box home screen that you can enable in the future. Okay, so recent conversations are here. Again, you can customize the text, and we'll talk about other text customization options in the last part of this series, which are overarching features. Okay, if you're happy with that, go ahead and click next. So again, if you're Shopify or BigCommerce, you can publish directly via one-click publish because we're natively integrated with those two platforms. So you can click publish, and we'll take the JavaScript, we'll install it into your storefront theme, and it'll be live instantly. If you don't have Shopify BigCommerce, the next best option is to use Google Tag Manager. If you don't want to use Google Tag Manager, you can do manual publishing, which is manual installation, and we give you the script that's needed to install this specific chat box. And at the very bottom, you can actually email this to your developers. And you can also visit our developer documentation at reamaze.com/developer to kind of get a really good idea on how to install this properly. Okay, so for now, because this account is connected to this storefront here, which is a Shopify store, I'm going to go ahead and click publish. I'm gonna hit OK and wait for the green check mark. So once that's done, click done. And let's take a look at the storefront now and see what it looks like in real time. So there it is at the bottom right hand corner. I can click on it. There is a little bit of text here. It says we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Social media icons here, FAQ search here, order status check, and no previous conversations right now because we haven't really started a conversation. I can click contact us, and as a customer, I can send a message in now. Okay, so before we move on, I do want to cover Reamaze queues because we're in the process of building things out, right? So as I said earlier, Reamaze queues are triggered messages, and you can create triggered messages based on a number of customer events or customer actions. This gives you a great way to automatically engage customers who are on your website. If you have Reamaze chat installed on your storefront, on your website, or on your app, you automatically have queues already. So all you really need to do is create those campaigns. Under website integrations, there's a section underneath embeddables called queues. So go ahead and click on that. And go ahead and create a new queue. Okay. So again, you can select the right brand. Make sure it's the same brand as you have your Reamaze chat box, and some people call it a shout box. But make sure it's the same brand. Let's just call it site abandonment. Okay. I want to automatically engage customers who are about to leave my website. Okay. So the message for this campaign is, hey, don't leave yet. Would you like to schedule a demo with someone on our team, on our, let's say, sales team? That's the message that's going to be sent from Chris. If you don't want it to come from Chris specifically, you can have it come from the entire team or specific staff, or from something custom, a name with a name and avatar URL. So that's completely up to you. So I'm going to just say team here. You can have it play a sound. Now the action button is pretty important because this is the call to action that you want to add to this campaign, this automated engagement campaign, right? So the button text, I want to say schedule a demo. Okay, so let's take a look what that looks like. So that looks good. I want to add a URL to this button. Again, the button can support also custom JavaScript if your developers can work with you on implementing something more custom. So for example, to book a demo with Reamaze, it's just this URL here, /Reamaze/demo. Okay, so this button will now take you to the scheduling link for Reamaze demos. You can add other buttons if you want, so you can have more than one button. Now the rules are important because this defines which customer set or which cohorts of customers will actually get this message. This is really where you get to be very, very crafty and very kind of psychic about who you want to receive a message from you. Okay, so let's say for this one, because of the site abandonment, I do want to use this rule, which is about to leave site is true. Okay, again, there are other rules. So as you add more rules, the cohort of customers become more restricted, as in fewer and fewer customers will actually satisfy these rules at the same time and being able to see this campaign. So you have to be very, very aware of which types of customer you want to target, right? So let's say another rule I want is this is their third visit to this website. Okay, so I'm going to say strictly equals or greater than 2. I'm going to say if they've been to this site more than 2 times and they're about to leave, then I want to show them this message. Okay, if you want something like, okay, if they visited us during office hours, then show them that message. You can also say referring URL. If they came from a specific Facebook campaign that we're running, show them a specific campaign message. If they're identified user, show them this message. If they're not, show them that message. If the customer, there are also Shopify specific rules, like if this customer's total order spend has been over $200, I want to send them a special coupon. You can create a special rule for that automatically messages that specific customer, right? So for this demo, we're just going to leave it as one rule. Advanced settings, transient, if the customer navigates to a different page, do you still want that queue message? or this campaign message to show. If you don't want it to show, check transient. If you still want it to show, just leave it off. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. Go ahead and hit save. So again, one-click publish to Shopify or BigCommerce. If not, then use Google Tag Manager to automatically install this. If not, then use manual publishing or manual installation. All very straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and publish to Shopify. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so once the green check mark shows up, I know this campaign is now live. So I can actually see that over GTM, it's never been published, but it has been published to my Shopify storefront. Again, if you're not using Shopify or BigCommerce, you won't see that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh here. Okay, so now we've installed Reamaze chat as well as a queue for this specific demo store. In order to test everything, I'm going to have to clear my cookies. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect or clear my history. I'm going to go to application. You don't need to do this. I'm going to clear site data. Okay, now I'm going to give it a refresh. Hello, refresh. Okay, so here's Reamaze chat. I can open it. I can message the business. If I move my mouse over to the exit button, so that's the welcome prompt that popped up. Remember the 3-second delay, 30-second duration, customizable as well. If I move my mouse though over to the back button or the close button, it should actually show me that queue message, which was that campaign for site abandonment. So I'm going to go ahead and go back, and here's that site abandonment automated trigger. I can click on this and actually chat to the business or the agent, right? I don't have to provide my name and email because that was the flexible mode that we chose. If I click on the button, this should take me to the scheduling link for Reamaze demo, right? So everything is working. Since everything's working, we're going to go ahead and start a conversation. We'll talk about what the difference is between real-time messaging and classic live chat, which are the two chat modes that we support. Okay. To do that, let's go back to the inbox and await our first real-time message. Okay, so let's go ahead and start a new conversation here. I'm gonna hit contact us. So for a more modern experience, we recommend using real-time messaging mode. Real-time messaging is an asynchronous live chat mode that's very, very similar to iMessage or text messaging. So customers can technically send you a message and they'll receive an automated reply telling them roughly how long they can expect to wait. And you can obviously customize this before, they have to wait a certain amount of time before an agent gets back to them. Now, think of this in iMessage terms or text messaging terms. It's just like your friends sending you a message, but you're in a meeting. So you don't reply to them, you reply to them later. But if you're out of the meeting, and in this case, if an agent receives a real-time message and they're available to chat, they can interact with the customer immediately and start a conversation, just like iMessage or text messaging, right? So as a customer, I'm gonna say, hello, I need some help. Okay, so I'm gonna hit send. Again, I have to pick one. I am super happy. I'm gonna hit send. Okay, so right now I've contacted this business as a guest user. I am going to provide my name and email just because I'm nice. So this is the test customer that we have. I've provided my name and email. So if we go back to the Reamaze dashboard here, I've received this message from a guest user. If I open it, it should actually update with Nancy's profile because we just provided that information. Now on Nancy's side, she's seeing this automated reply saying, thanks for trying out Reamaze on Shopify demo store. We'll roughly get back to you in 24 hours. Okay. Now, the agent right now, as I'm looking at this conversation as an agent now, I am available. I can see that Nancy's online. Her status is green. She's online. I can see in recent activity that she's on our website. She's doing stuff. She might potentially even have something in her shopping cart. I also received those custom form field data, right? How happy are you? And she's super happy, so I'm not too concerned. I have all of her customer data, right? I have any other data modules that I can use to get more context as to who Nancy is and what she needs. So at this point, I can go ahead and reply to Nancy. I can say, hi, Nancy. I'm happy to help. Let's do a smiley face and hit reply. So on Nancy's side, she receives this back in real time. She can hit appreciate. She can say, I need some more info on shipping. Okay, she's gonna hit send. Okay, again, this is all in real time. She said, I need some more info on shipping. She did appreciate my reply. Now I can go ahead and insert, let's say, a help article. I can say I'm looking for a shipping article, just like before. Say shipping rates for international shipping. That sounds plausible, because I'm going to do that. And I'm going to, let's say, insert a Jiffy. I'm going to say win. Let's see what Jiffy pulls up. I like that one. So that looks good, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit reply. And Nancy should receive this all in real time. So this is the real-time messaging mode, and you can interact with customers either as an inbound, which means the customer opened the chat box and they clicked contact us, or this conversation might have started because of a queue message or an automated engagement message. Okay, so both are really, really powerful, and you can interact with customers, help them out really, really quickly, and customers will be super satisfied. Okay, so now the second mode of Reamaze chat is called Classic Live Chat Mode. And Classic Live Chat Mode is a little bit different from real-time messaging, mainly because in real-time messaging, because it's completely asynchronous and customers can message you at any time and you can reply at any time, there's really no waiting queue. There's no concept of a waiting queue. It's just customers, waiting to get back to you. But there's no queue. There's no who got there first, who got there second, right? Because there's no queue, agents can actually reply to customers via live chat from anywhere. They can reply from the web dashboard. They can reply to a chat even through email notification. So that's something that we do support via email notifications. The customer service agent can also download the Reamaze app for iOS and Android, and they can reply to a real-time messaging chat through the mobile app, right? Now, the classic live chat mode is a little bit different because there is a concept of a waiting queue, and customers will need to wait until an agent becomes available to chat with them, and that's when the conversation really starts. And because there's a waiting queue, and to ensure that customers have a good experience, agents can't really be, mobile or walking about or putting their phones away in their pocket. So in classic live chat mode, agents will actually need to be logged into the web dashboard and waiting for customers to write in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the classic live chat mode, which is on the bottom right hand corner here. I'm going to say I'm available to serve live chat, okay, and also have personal chat hours. Right now there's nothing set, okay, so I'm always going to be available. And because it's a classic live chat, there's a dedicated section for classic live chats. For real-time messages, all those live chat messages are coming in through the inbox, just like an email, just like a social media message, and you can manage them alongside everything else. But for classic live chat, because there needs to be a dedicated response or dedicated agent to handle those requests, there's a special section for classic live chats. So as the customer, I'm going to go ahead and refresh here. And instead of saying, we'll get back to you in roughly 24 hours, it now says we're available to chat, right? So the messaging here has changed. And again, this is customizable through text customization. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Contact Us. Now you'll also notice a little green button for the customers to know that someone's actually online. So I can say, I need some help again. Okay, so I'm going to hit send. I'm going to hit super happy again. I'm going to hit send. Okay, you heard that little knock. Okay, so on the agent side, there's actually a queued request now under chat. So I'm going to go to all queued requests. I can see that Nancy is here waiting for me to reply. I can also see that there's a green a little blinker here on the bottom right hand corner and the little sound. I can click on that too to actually service this request. So I can see Nancy's message is still waiting for me. She said, I need some help again. Again, all this data is still here, right? Custom field data, customer data attributes, all the data modules are on the right-hand side here. I can go ahead and I can reply to Nancy because the chat is live now. I can say, hi Nancy, I can help you. Hit reply. And Nancy will actually get this message in real time. Now, because this is a classic live chat, there is the notion of a beginning and an end. So the customer can actually terminate this conversation by clicking on the power little button. That's the little power button, not the power little button. The little power button that says end chat, and they can also request an email transcript. Now, in real-time messaging, there is still the concept of an email transcript, but it's just through a permalink, which we can talk about later. But let's say Nancy's already satisfied with with the customer service. She can say in chat, okay, and she can say, okay, I want an email transcript. She can provide her an email here, and Reamaze will email that transcript to her. So now that the customer has ended this conversation, Reamaze will know that it has ended, and it will alert the agent that it has ended. And they can actually convert this classic live chat conversation into a support conversation. So you can click here, and you can move it to a support channel as an email. I'm going to say move. Okay, so now it has been moved. The reason we do this is because after a live chat conversation, sometimes agents will want to follow up. It's a good business practice to do so, just to make sure the customer is happy, or maybe the customer left and the conversation hasn't really ended. So it's a good way to follow up via email. So because we have our contact information and it has been converted into an email conversation, I can go ahead and actually reply to Nancy, right? I can say, hi Nancy, it was great chatting with you the other day. Let me know if you need anything else. Okay, so once you hit send, this will actually be sent to Nancy's email as an email follow-up. Okay, so I did mention earlier that Reamaze real-time messaging and Reamaze classic live chat are both both modes are offered in Reamaze chat. You can pick between the two modes, but classic live chat mode is only available right now in the Plus plan, and it's really up to you which one you want to use. We default everyone when you create a new account to real-time messaging mode because it's the mode that works, the best for a variety of companies and teams. Classic live chat mode is great, and if you want to turn that on, definitely reach out to our team, and we can help you do that. If you go to the settings menu here under messaging, you can actually turn on different messaging modes, different chat modes for different channels. So for example, the Daffy Demo channel right now has classic live chat with fallback to real-time messaging. That means when I turn classic live chat mode off, it automatically goes back to real-time messaging, right? This channel here only has real-time messaging turned on, so does this one. But to turn it on, you can actually go to Manage Messaging Settings, and you can turn on or enable classic live chat mode. You can set busy notifications, missed chat times, enable satisfaction surveys. All of that good stuff is located in Reamaze messaging. Cool. All right, let's see if there's anything we're missing. Let's go back here. So to summarize, we talked about real-time messaging. We went ahead and customized a chat experience, a chat box. We installed it to this demo storefront through Shopify One-Click Publish. If you don't have Shopify or BigCommerce or access to one-click publishing, you can use Google Tag Manager. If you don't have Google Tag Manager, you can have your developers install this manually. After that, we created some queues, or one queue, which are automated engagement messages based on customer actions or events, sometimes called triggered messages. And you can create a variety of different campaigns to automatically engage customers, to get them to talk to you, to get them to take certain actions. And then we actually simulated a conversation, both in real-time messaging and in classic live chat. Okay, so let's see if there's anything we're missing. All of this stuff you can read on your own. I think that's about it. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about Reamaze Live and kind of what the real-time dashboard looks like and how you can send one-on-one targeted messages to customers and kind of see what they're doing. Cool. All right, I'll see you guys in the next part of this demo series.